I'm not sure how many people are going to be on. I had tons of people that said they were going to be on, and then some people said that they couldn't make it, but we'll I'll be posting it so people can get, I guess, an idea of your server, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, so are we. I mean, we're putting in a lot of work and listening to the community, and we want to put a product out there that's good for everybody and good for the experience.
Right. Um, Obviously, I'm playing another one and talking about another one, but that's all right. There's no foul in that. Um, so I was going to give this until 3, but it is 3. If you don't mind, I was going to play the video that you guys have. Um,
Absolutely.
and then I was watching the video the other day and I was like, oh, I have a couple questions now. But
Great.
let's make sure that this actually works and I don't screw up something because I'm not super good at um, Twitch yet. But this should work. So, not sure if the volume will be on, but there we go. I absolutely love this video. Oh, turn
Yeah,
on the
we
volume.
we made it, and it really pumped us up to do it.
Yeah, when I went to the website the first time and I watched the video, I was like, you get goosebumps and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? Like it's very done very well for sure. Um, if I ask any questions that you're like, no can do, it's fine. Um,
Yep, I'll be open as with you as much as I can. I know we've got some more announcements to make, some more toys in the bag, and things that are kind of um, under our shirt right now that we'll be announcing, hopefully soon. And but anything else, whatever you have to ask, let's go.
um, let's see. My first question is, how do I get a mound? I know that's not everyone's first question, but I saw that and I was like, that's all I want. I just want a mount. That's really cool. Um,
So mounts right now, there's probably going to be a couple of ways that we're thinking about doing it. Some of the higher end mounts we may do encounters and stuff, and then you buy it with the shards, the Eden shards, and stuff like that. But your normal mounts, we may have a small quest line to go through and do it. Just kind of keeping true to that classic feel. We don't want to make it to where it's like just everybody is able to just jump on a mountain and go. We want them to, like, Dark Age is meant to be. You have to kind of grind out a little bit to have that reward. But the mounts were something that definitely were something in our things that we wanted to make sure that we brought back to the community.
okay, cool. I'm trying to think of I know we have a another setup for Sunday with me, Joe, and Haze Fest. So I'm trying not to answer or ask the exact same questions, um, just so it doesn't feel like a complete redo. Um, is that video done? Yes, I love that video though. It's crazy good. Okay, so everyone hopefully got to see that. Um, Trying to read all of the questions here, if there is any. Um, so obviously there is a few servers um, going in certain ways. Not really gonna like how do you compare to it because it sounds good, but I played Celeste, um, and I know a lot of is it the same team that's kind of doing this one as Celeste? How does that? What's the
So Eden has their team.
yeah,
We're collaborating with a lot of the guys and people from Celestius to, their knowledge and stuff like that. to build this. Our base code is off of there, so it's super stable as you could see on Celestius. A lot of work has gone into that code to improve upon it in a lot of different manners that you'll be able to see not only in the alpha that we're releasing on the 20th of August, but even future into the game. So it's a lot of collaboration. It's a lot of there's a lot of devs on the team that have 10 plus years doing DOL coding. Professional coders. We've got professional artists. We've got people on the team that are solo centric, small man centric, 8-man centric, Zerg centric, casual players like myself. So we've gone about it in a way that we all have a voice, and we want to make sure that everything that we possibly can do is in the game for anybody. Our main goal is that for those people that have like 30 minutes, they just got home from picking up Johnny, and they want to play for like 30 minutes, they're able to log into the game and get stuff accomplished and not feel that it's a grind, and not feel that it's a just sitting there by yourself, and oh, look at me, I'm there's always going to be something to do in the game. And that's really our mindset for how we want Eden to come out.
Okay, that's very nice. Uh, I like that. So I did in that video that we watched that I see that I we talked about a little bit in Discord. Um, but I see there's TOA. There is TOA. Obviously, if anyone's read the patch notes, you can do 101 or 100 stats, which is nice. Gives it a little cool feel to it. What is so there's TOA, there's TOA land, but there's no MLs or artifacts, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So our vision was is the standard 75 stat cap and everything. We don't want to cap it at that. We want that 101 cap to give the ability to some of the faster gameplay. Um, and stuff, and everybody will, have the ability to build their templates around that. But TOA, the zones are going to be in there. We're not going to have the MLs, we're not going to have the artifacts, but we are going to have encounters, such Raging Tornado being one of them. We're building those out to have an encounter, so that if there's an artifact attached to that encounter, you'll have the possibility of getting an artifact skin from it. So Cyclops Eye, those type of things will be able to provide to the community that pretty feel of TOA, but not that horrible 10-hour ML grind that people would have to do, and just the mindless, mind-numbing stuff that came along with
Like ML3, that was always my favorite. I hated that one so bad.
it.
That always seemed like the worst one. I don't know if it was because of the water or always being on whatever it was. It was never too much fun. In one of, I believe in one of the scenes that they were running through one of the ML dungeons, there was a named, but I've never seen the name before. So you guys are creating kind of like your own end mobs? I think it was
um,
the Medusa layer she was running through and it came up and it was a named mob that I've never seen. Or
right.
maybe,
So we are working on some things. I don't want to go too much into detail, because that is going to be some in game stuff.
okay,
But we are working on some things to bring um, different aspects of the game that we feel would be challenging to groups and stuff like that. So yes, you saw the Sobakite dungeon, and the Medusa mob and all that stuff. Those are things that we're looking at putting in the game to be able to get, shards, drops, things of that nature implemented in the game for that in-game type content.
okay. So it gives us something uh, new to do. That's cool. How is I read the patch notes on but obviously I think everyone has. And some I'm not going to talk about other people that are releasing games at this moment. Um, but with the seasons, what's your not purpose, but kind of what's your idea with the seasons? Is it to be like when I read it, I don't know, obviously this is my interpretation of it, but we've all played Dark Age, we've all played free shards that have gone and disappeared and you log in and you just, and then you have to download a new game and a new client and a new server and everything else. So to me, seasons is kind of like once the population or whatever happens dwindles, the 300, 400 people that are still playing or want to play are now on the hunt for the new free shard. This season's kind of a way of saying that Eden's going to be around, and if the population drops too far, then they'll just bring out a new season, and that's kind of like the new free shard at the moment, if that makes sense.
A great question. I know seasons have been talked about for years on the free shark community, and no one's really gone and done that. The idea behind it is kind of like what you said. You the lifespan of a free shard um, is not expected to last 10, 15, 20 years. People get bored with it. People move on to different games, so forth, so on. It's really the community that we have are those people that just really enjoy the game. They want to get in, they want to play. Um, but what we felt was if we had a single instance of it and only lived by that mantra, that it would get stagnant. And then the next new game would come out and people would leave. And so, if we have the ability to, like you said, when the population starts dwindling and stuff, come up with, you know, and these are just ideas thrown out, a Mordred style or a defend your realm style, or just things of that nature to throw in new twists. Um, that's sort of where the season mentality came from. we Eden wants to be around. We want to stick around for a long time, um, and by doing seasons like that, we don't want to necessarily punish the players. We don't want to say, okay, after X amount of time, you're just going to be reset and start over. There's no fun in that because if you have to start over and start over doing the same thing, you're going to get a little salty. So, but if you do the season and you start something new, still within the Dark Age realm, it provides you that opportunity to go, oh, this is different, okay, and you go and maybe try a different realm or try a different class, and you just follow along that path. It keeps that freshness alive for the community, and there may be things in season one that we decide okay, maybe this didn't work. If it's definitely not working, we'll make those changes within the season. But it's those different visions and the things that go along with the season that we can incorporate new things, new ideas, and you'll be seeing some of that within our seasons, and hopefully the community takes well to the ideas that the dev team has come up with on those regards.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I've kind of been waiting for somebody to do something on that because I'm I played Dark Age for a long time. And then I took a little bit of break, and when I came back, I logged into live after I'm not really sure a time frame, probably 10 years. Um, it was a while, and I went to go play, and I'm like, wow, this isn't even Dark Age anymore. Like nothing is the same. That's how I felt. So I was looking around and found a free shard. Obviously, played that until it closed, and then all of a sudden I realized I had like four different versions of Dark Age on my computer, and was kind of wondering when someone would bring that out. So that's really cool. Kind of a at home, and when something starts not working right anymore, I don't have to download a new game. Um, do you have anything set up? I don't know if this was in the patch notes or not, but do you have anything for like realm pride? I know I've read some notes on a few servers where they're trying to do certain things or different aspects of trying to keep people from jumping ship, whether it's a realm timer. I know Celeste didn't have that, which was cool. I did enjoy. I There was very few things that I did not enjoy about Celeste, especially not having to make a template. I hate crafting, so I enjoyed that part a lot. But is there any, do you have anything like that, like Realm Pride, or is it just gonna Realm Timer, anything like that?
Great question. So I feel you on the coming back after 10 years. I did the same thing, and I was like, yeah, this isn't fun. Um, so I was looking around like you, but yeah, we have multiple things in store. Not only are we going to have a realm timer, that way, if let's say the Hibzerg is just so huge and people are like, you know what, forget this. I'm just going to go over there and get my credit for the relic raid, and then in a few hours, whenever that dies off and the mid Zerg picks up, I'll go over there and get the relic back. And so there is going to be a realm timer, and but it's going to hurt you because we are implementing a realm pride system that your 4 or 5 days of trying to get your realm pride up can be destroyed in 1 minute of going out and trying to capture a relic. So there's going to be bonuses and stuff that and things that are associated with that realm pride, that definitely, yeah, once you get to that 100%, you're going to be like, you know what, I'm him, I'm staying here. I don't want to mess this up. And that's kind of the feeling that we want to get, because we want people to experience the game from all three realms, but we also want to have the ability of having that realm pride and that community sense, and you know not say hatred for the other realms and stuff. We want that ability in the game. And so yeah, we're definitely implementing both of that within Eden.
That's some good answers. Um, I know you said you had like 30 minutes to maybe an hour. Um, I have some people on um, the waiting for somebody to ask a question. I'm running out here. Um, so what about, okay, so and still trying to keep it so we're not asking you the same questions on Sunday, which I know a lot of people will be on that one that are on this one and so forth. But um, what are what are your ideas or thoughts on free shards, or yours obviously, about doing what are they called, events?
So events are fun. So let's just had several of them. Phoenix had several of them. They're fun. um the problem with events like that are you start splitting the community. So I would remember, back on Celestius, when they would run, the events in their 2 man, 5 man, 8 man type stuff. The RVR zone would be dead. So it's not going to be something that we're necessarily, turning our nose to, but it's not something that we're looking to do on a regular basis. We may have some events. We're working on some things in New Frontiers event ish, um, that draws the people out there to do things out in RVR, and because the goal of Dark Age really is get your character, build it up, build your template up, and then ultimately you know get those realm ranks, get those realm skill points, and start spending them. The people that want a PVE, they have the ability to go and PVE and make, like I did on Phoenix. I had, I think, 7 level 50 animist. Why? Don't know, just like doing it. Um, but it's one of those, we want to balance that out. So, events are nice in some way because it does bring some people back, but the overall feeling is that events too frequently and things that will draw from what the game is about can be seen in a negative connotation.
Right. So, since we're talking about old Phoenix, we'll just keep it at that.
Correct.
Um, the events that they had towards the end, well, at my end, obviously, I joined late, but they were a lot of fun. But at the same point, it was always like, let's build the best five man we can using all of the characters, and we're just gonna dominate, and anyone who pugs isn't gonna enjoy it as much as, five friends who grab one healer from each realm and one tank from each realm and can run the perfect group. Um, and then the first uh, event on Celeste was that was so crazy fun that, but like you said, in that event, you saw like relics going really fast, and no one would go to an F just because there's an event. Is is there like a thought of maybe doing an event but incorporating, you guys are doing NF, right? You're not doing OF.
Correct. NF.
Okay, like having an event in NF so you can maybe level and do all that stuff, but still be on guard if a relic is under attack or taking keeps or anything like that.
Oh, there has been some thought in doing something like that. Like I said before, having events in the zone, the NF zone, and everything. The biggest thing with Celestius, those events were fun. It was mass chaos. Everybody running around. It was, it made my head spin. Just watching it and playing in it and just laughing at the things that were going on. But we really want to make sure that we don't. The big thing with events for us is we don't want to do them very frequently because that draws away from what the game is about. Old Phoenix, they would do those leveling events in the BGs and stuff, and like you said, the pre-mages would go out and just completely, 1 to 50 and just dominate everybody. Um, and then you would have the people like me that didn't want to participate in the events, so I just go sit out in the zones and pick off levelers, because I just didn't want to, deal with that because I may not have the time, whatever. So we want to make sure that we balance any type of events that we do. So initially, we're not doing events right away because we want the community to focus on the community and not necessarily separate themselves for, oh well, this event's gonna go on for a week. I'll just log out for a week and come back. That's not fair to that player. It's not, events are nice. But again, that's where the seasons come in. If we're finding that people are, as tensions are waning and they're wanting to look for something else and start dropping off and things like that, spin up a new season. Give them something fresh, something new to look at, rather than relying on the events to draw the masses in.
Yeah, that was another thing with when the, I think it was the first or second one on Phoenix that I joined. And like the population wasn't super high, but it wasn't low at any point. But it seemed like 2 or 300 people were on, the week before the event, and then the event comes and there's like 2,000 people. It's like, come on, you guys, if you were on all the time, we wouldn't be having an
Yep.
issue right now. But
Yeah.
I
I,
did,
I,
oh, go
I
ahead.
think a lot of, I enjoyed playing Phoenix. Darkspire was great. I was in Zix group. We set the records for HOH and Darkspire with Hamo and them. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the server, but what people have to realize is a lot of what went on with Phoenix that prolonged the life of that particular set was the pandemic.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of
COVID.
people were having to
I mean,
stay home. They didn't have anything else to do. Once regulations started lifting and stuff, that's when you started seeing the population drop off. And that's kind of what the lifespan of a shard is you have that big initial buildup, then you have the plateau, then you have the drop off, and that's kind of where we're looking at it from a season standpoint is when we see that drop off, you know, when is it best for the community to introduce something new? And that's what we're going to do is we're going to introduce something new in that next season to make sure that the people that still want to play but they're just sort of bored with it, they've got 17 animus, um you
I'm
know
gonna come back to that.
so it's just bringing that nostalgia back and that feeling of newness. That when you picked up the game for the first time and you put it in and you're like, all right, let's go. That's the feeling that we want all the time with Eden is that community feeling. And not only just that, but a real good friend of mine I met on Phoenix, he lives in Scotland. We talk every day. It's that type of those friendships that we want to help build and grow and stuff. And that's really the Eden community that we want to push forward.
Okay. I do have somebody finally asked a question. Um, repeatable quests or something to do at end game as RVR. What can be done to ensure there's no drop off towards end of season?
Yes,
For
we're
instance,
yep.
when that,
I completely understand. um so at the end game, if you don't want to go RVR and stuff, we're definitely going to have things in the game that are going to be exciting. um I don't know necessarily about repeatable quests, um, but we're going to bring something to the table that's going to, you know, allow that end user um, experience at the end of the game, to where they, if they don't have time to go RVR, they're still going to have something to do. That's really our goal. Is you log into the game, you only have 30 minutes, you have 4 hours, you have 8 hours, whatever it is, you're always going to have something to do in the game that's going to not only help improve your character, but also potentially your realm.
okay. Were all the animus you had different specs?
They were different specs. I had 7 level 50s. I had, I think, a level
I had to ask.
34, level 25. So what I did on Phoenix was I would go through, and of course I would use ones for RVR, I'd use ones for power leveling, I'd use one for solo. But my son and I, my son's 17, we were officers and guild masters in our guild. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to have weekly giveaways to our guild members and our alliance members and stuff. And so one of the things we did was we actually collected the turn-in quest, enough turn-in quest to level someone from level 5 to level 50 with nothing but turn-in quest.
Where were you
And
when I
it
was playing?
I was there. Um, but it's just that kind of mentality that we really want to bring to Eden. Is we want that community support. We want that, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to build the game, to build everybody up. We don't want anybody in the game, in the community, to feel like they're out on their own. And that's really a large focus of Eden.
Okay, since you brought that up, I don't know if you can talk about it very much or not, but the turn-in quests, will there be a timer? Will there be a limit of how many you can turn in? Kind of how does that? Because I know most people, I think most servers I've been on have changed to like you can only turn in 30 of them, or the drop rate is only every 3.5 minutes? Do you guys have anything like that, or is it going to be like a free for all at start and then see where it goes from there?
Great question. These are all things that we're building into the system right now. Um, Turn-in quests specifically. So we're going to have multiple different ways to level. We're going to be making some announcements soon on that, and we'll talk about it some on Sunday. Um, but we're going to have multiple ways of leveling, and each different way is going to have its pros and cons to it. So like mainland, you're going to have your quests and your items and stuff like that to turn in. Dungeons, of course, you're going to have, the BG areas, and then you're going to have the open RVR NF zones, and each one of them in DF and whatever else. Um, each one of them is going to have a unique feel to them, and they're going to have a unique aspect to them and a unique experience and pros to each one of them. Cons to each one of them. So it's definitely something that we want to do. We don't want what we do not want to do is we don't want to accelerate the game, like an I-50 or anything like that, because if we were just doing I-50, then everybody's just straight to new frontiers, and that's really the goal of this. The goal of Eden is really to give that holistic feel to the community, those people that want a PVE, those people that just let's say they just want a twink and thid. We want to provide those type of experiences to the whole community that some days you may have 8 hours, some days you may only have 30. That's really the goal of that. And so there hasn't really been a hard set defined, okay, we're only going to have 30 of this, and um you know timer on this. It may be a mixture of all of them. The sky's the limit with what we can do.
Okay. Um, I had another question and I just spaced it with that. So the um the rate of, so you said with the I-50 and the rate of it, which was one thing that um was really cool about Celeste, but at the same time, I've heard that Celeste was kind of a in between. It wasn't, I don't know. Like I said, this is just a rumor, so if it's absolutely BS, you can say it, but it wasn't like a set, it was never intended to be like a full duration free shard. Um, which, like I said, that's just things that have been said since it's been down. But the rate of XPing and RVR was so fast, and other servers have slowed it down. No one's slowed it down like it used to be 20 years ago, where it took like 6 months and you were almost Rome rank 5,
Right.
you know. And people are
Rome rank
even,
5, heck, level 50.
yeah, and level 50 took like 2 months, and that was like if you had 12 hours to play every single day. Um, and some servers have kind of went in between what it used to be. Um, I think Althgard is still like what it used to be, and Celeste, like 3 weeks in, there was Rome rank 11s already, and I was like, damn, this is really fast. Um, where are you guys monitoring or setting up to where, like, I know you have the um, which I really liked when I read, uh, like this month is this cap, this month is this cap. Are you, is that set in stone, or is that just kind of like a basis? And is that a reason why you have the cap? So people aren't Rome rank 11 in a month and everyone else is Rome rank 1. Like, how do you,
Great questions. So I'll address them in the order that you asked. So Celestius was brought out as sort of a new thought, new approach to the game. It was RVR centric. It was um, that's what it was for. Get people out into the RVR zone and fight. So it did have, that accelerated feel to it. Um, and it did last um, longer than potentially expected, which was good because it helped the group that that did it, understand better where to put their ideas and put their designs and stuff like that, but allowed also the ability to continue playing the game. Um, so going to the next question, the what we call the toll gates on the RVR levels. So one of the people in the staff, was like, hey, we want people to go out, let's say they don't have enough time to get to level 50 in the first day, like some people, may want to do, or the second day or third day. They go out, they RVR, they're already realm rank 6. You walk out there with your realm rank 2 nothing, and you're just getting swatted everywhere. So that was kind of the thought process on the toll gates was, um, you know, having it to where, 3L9, was the first toll gate, and then bump it up every week after that. You're still going to gain realm points. You're just not going to have the access to those realm skill abilities. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow people to not feel as though they're overwhelmed with going out there and just giving up. They still have, what someone said, that sweet virgin smell of going out and playing RVR, and you still have a chance. You're 2L4 and you're fighting a 3L9. You still have that chance of getting, you know the good feel from it, and then you can work on building your realm points and stuff as you go, and then each toll gate that happens opens up more realm skill abilities, um, for those players that are playing.
Okay, so it was still the players that are out. It's a nice progression for everybody, basically. Um, Although it was nice on other servers when you go out at realm rank 4 and you happen to beat a realm rank 9 or 10, you're like, yeah. And then of course you get annihilated for the next 6 months. But um, so the people that are going to be out there, try hard, whatever you want to call them, they'll see the progression on their character, but they're not going to. So basically, when the new week or whatever comes out, they're going to be capped every time. There's just going to be people that'll
Right.
do that. But there's the people that aren't up there aren't going to get totally blown out of the water by a realm rank 10 when they're everyone else is realm rank 3, right?
Correct. Right.
Okay, that's cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's, we thought about ways of bringing the ceiling down, or maybe bringing the floor up. And this way, what we're doing is we're bringing that ceiling down and growing it as that floor grows. So it's kind of a progression of that way, to where it's not, just, you come on, you took a vacation for a week, whatever, and you got behind, and you don't feel so overwhelmed of my gosh, what am I going to do? Um, so, it's kind of that feeling. It's going to help everybody. Going along with that is, you, like I said, you're still going to gain your realm points. You just won't have access to the skill points, until that next toll gate comes. But, let's say that you have enough realm points to be realm rank 7, and you kill a realm rank, you're capped at 3L9, but you kill a realm rank 2. It's not going to benefit you much because you're still going to have that differential on realm points. But if you're that realm rank 2 and kill that realm rank 7, you're going to have that, benefit from killing that higher realm point holder.
Oh, so the game sees it as he's a realm rank 7, just the script doesn't show it. So if you
Right.
kill that person who's technically a realm rank 7, you're going to get more realm points.
Right. So
Huh.
the toll gates are on the realm skill points. It's not on the realm points. It's on the realm skill points that are available to purchase your realm abilities.
Okay, that explain. That's really cool, actually. Okay. Um, see if there's any other people talking. Well, I figured people would be lighting up with questions, but maybe I'm asking the right ones. Um, so it comes out on the 20th. Beta does.
Alpha. Alpha
Alpha.
comes out on the 20th, and we are going to have things that we're going to ask the community for feedback on. Um, more information on that's going to be, released, soon. But it's going to be a targeted approach at, the things that we're working on right now. Um, and then we're, after that phase, we'll, go in, continue work on the server, make any adjustments that we need to make. And then we'll come out with a beta phase. And again, we'll get more feedback, make the changes that we need to. Our development staff, like I said, is amazing. They've blown my mind on the things that they've been able to put together, and that we're going to be bringing to the community. It's things that you would never even think about, but then you sit back and think to yourself, man, why hasn't that been done? That just makes total sense that
Right.
that's been done. And just the work of the team is, like I said, I can't say enough about them. It's just, like I said, mind blowing. And then, once that, beta phase, we get everything cinched up, we get all the stuff done that we need to, we implement everything that we do, we're going to, do the live phase after that.
Um, with the alpha, all the betas that you're going to be bringing out, will it be test out the server, start from level one? Is it going to be an I-50 realm rank 3? Like, do you have any or is that too
It'll
soon
be
to?
it'll be a fresh start, level one. I don't, I don't want to speak out of turn or anything,
Right.
but kind of the idea that's been floating around is kind of like we want to see the progression that people make. Let's say like 1 to 20 or 1 to 24, something like that. You know, that's really the focus of the alpha phase, because that's, where we can see not only, the server stability we don't see as being a problem, because it comes off of the code that was already there for Celestius, and super stable. um, so it's more of, how are the interactions with the players? How are the interactions with the quests? How are the interactions with the porting and the zones, and things of that nature? So it really is more focused, on that. And then the beta phase, of course, we'll go to the next phase of that. So we've addressed those, initial concerns or questions and stuff, and then beta phase will, we'll expand it a little bit further and say, okay, now these are open, and these dungeons are open. We'd like for you to go test this, and this. And then of course launch, will be, launch, and then we'll just open it up, let the floodgates go.
Right. So basically, it's just going to be how everything interacts, how the leveling speed is,
Yeah,
mobs
things like yeah,
mobs
things
coming
like
through
that.
walls and dungeons. Like,
Yep. I
okay.
mean, like I said, a lot of the code, the Celestius team is helped out, with that. So, what you saw in Celestius is what you should see on Eden. Um, but with the Eden team, we've been able to go even further with some of the things that we're going to implement. May not be implemented day one, on some of this stuff. We're hoping to, but I mean, we've done a lot of work on getting it to where it's the holistic view of Dark Age, and catering to everybody's needs. You're going to have those naysayers out there that, oh, this isn't for me, this, that, and the other. Um, but the majority of the game.
Yeah, the community is definitely entitled. Not all of them, but there are the few and the proud, I guess. Um, or everyone has a better idea than somebody else. That's why I give you devs and everyone who's involved in making any free shard like the utmost respect because you guys deal with more crap than anything I've ever seen. Like you guys get yelled at for every. You're like clerics. You get yelled at for everything, but you never get high five for doing a good job.
Yeah, you
Um,
toss out a good heal, and everybody's like, "Oh, you just did your job."
yeah,
You let
good.
someone
That's
die,
what you're
it's like,
supposed to
"Why?"
do, but you die and you're like, you didn't. You still have full power. Um, as I'm Mez the whole time. Uh, but um, obviously, I'm super excited about this one. I can't wait to for the 20th to get in. I did try getting in early, but you closed the door on me. You said I couldn't, so that's fine. Um,
Yep, yep. A lot of stuff still going on. We want to make sure it's ready for the 20th.
and
Um,
then I guess it's almost 4 o'clock. You said you had an hour. I don't want to take too much more of your time. So closer to the 20th, or if um, a huge patch comes out that you guys talk about a lot of stuff, if I get a lot of questions or anything, would you be willing to do this again?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean,
perfect.
like I said, we have some things, that we're going to be announcing here soon. Again, not only with our vision of different things and all of that, but patches and all of that. So yeah, if we want to sync up and once those come out, once alpha comes out and there's questions or whatever, you're fielding questions and want to ask them to me, absolutely, we can set up another time and talk about it.
Okay, so I did get one more question. If you have one more minute, will there be an underdog bonus for under any underpopulated realm, and what would it be if server launched today? That's a good question. Put you on the spot a little.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Not to go into too much detail, I know our staff is looking at a lot of different ways to combat that. Um, right now, there's not anything quite definitive on that. But there has been a lot of talk about that because we do know that there's sometimes when there are underdogs. Again, we have some things up our sleeve that we want to flesh out first and see how that works to try to combat that. We don't feel that necessarily bonuses are a bad thing, but we also don't feel that they're a good thing. So it's a balancing act on that. So it's one of those things that we want to see where we stand. So probably on server launch, we probably won't see something like that because again, we have these other things, that are in the pipeline that we think can help alleviate um, some of that need for any type of bonuses, and we want to see how the community reacts to those.
Right, right. Yeah, because it always seems like the underdog realm gets their bonus, and then a day later they're not the underdog anymore. I can
Yep.
see how that would kind of be a back and forth headache
Yep,
redoing
and
that all
well,
the time.
that's going to hurt you because remember the realm loyalty. If you've been playing your hip character for 2-3 weeks and you've gotten it up to 100%, and you're like, oh, Midgard's got a realm bonus. You go over there and you start you know dipping your toes in the enemy's water. You're going to lose that that you know realm loyalty. So it's something to think about. I know people want to you know play the game they want to play the game, but it's definitely something that's going to impact the thought process a little bit on that realm loyalty.
Okay, now that you just said that, I one last one, and I swear I'll let you go. Um, is there anything you can give? This might be a total no, but is there any really cool things that if you have realm loyalty that you get?
I don't think there's anything right now that were released other than we are going to have the realm loyalty. We don't want to let the cat out of the bag too soon, because um, we kind of want to see how it works internally during the tests and stuff. Um, so on that, there's not really anything in particular that I can say that would say, oh yeah, we're going to offer XYZ
Okay.
for realm loyalty. But just know it is going to impact. It should. If you're a Dark Age player and you care about your character and it's going to impact your thought process.
That was a great answer without an answer. That was great. I wasn't sure how much you were going to get into that, um, just because that's kind of a wait to see. But um, yeah, unless there's anything else, like I said, I don't want to keep you. I know you work from home and it's nice and hot outside. Anything else that you want to talk about or say or give the viewers that are watching this now or once I upload it that is going to make them be like, I know there was a discussion the other day which kind of complemented all of this, trying to talk to devs and get the community kind of a little more cohesive. Um, but something that will make it like, yeah, this is definitely the right avenue or the right, you know, just something about the server that's going to make people want to come as opposed to not another one because that's kind of a rude comment, but like what anything else you want to say about the server that's coming out that will make people excited besides the video. The video is amazing, and whoever did that should make a second one because
Well, we're in the works of even more exciting stuff on that front, that we hope to be able to share, soon. But any other comments? I know there's, Phoenix, call it Phoenix 2.0, whatever, Uthred and gang over there. Um, the most respect, to them. They did a phenomenal job on their stuff, when they had it out. You have Atlas and their team. They started from scratch, man. And it takes some really big, you know, to do that. I mean, they took the base DOL code, and I give them all the respect in the world for sticking through it, and all the server issues, and the hardware issues and the code issues. The dev community is a really small, um, community. I would like to see the dev community work together, and there have been times, where they've reached out to us, they've reached out to the Celestials team. There's all of that. The devs are going to have their own visions on things, and that's fine. The biggest thing that I can say about Eden is, our passion is the community. Our passion is, not just the eight mans, not just the Zergs. It's people like me, in their middle 40s that are out there. You have 30 minutes to play, or you may have 4 hours to play. Whatever the case may be. We want to open with welcome arms all of those play styles, and really put out a product that can be respected, and we want the players themselves to respect the other players. I know Celestius, there's a lot of trash talk going on, and all of that. We want to kind of steer clear of that. We know what's going to go on. Human nature is very competitive, and you're going to have those moments. And the Eden staff ourselves, I'm going to hold them accountable for having those higher standards. Being the community manager and the lead GM and everything, I'm going to hold them accountable to make sure that they are the leaders of the vision of the community, and not do anything stupid. I understand people have bad days, things of that nature, but don't take it out on the players. You don't know what they're going through in their life either. So it's one of those things that we really want to make sure that there's fair gameplay. We want to make sure that people feel welcomed, and just enjoy the game. That's what it's all about, is that enjoyment. I started playing the game when it was released, 20 plus years ago. My son's 17. When he turned about 8 or 9, he wanted to start playing, so I introduced him. It's those type of things that drive me, um, to for the community. I still have friends from back when I was on, um, Gawain. on live. I still have real life friends that I talk to from that, and that's really where the basis of all of this is coming from. Is we just want to provide something that people feel good about.
Okay. Yeah, I can't follow that up. Um, that was perfect. Um, it was a pleasure talking. Thank you for taking time out of your day for a Twitch stream, I guess. And
Absolutely.
I know we'll all be there on Sunday. I'll try and come up with different questions. But it was answered great. Um, yeah, like thank you very much. Um, I I know a lot of us have been talking about, obviously we all play, most of us play Atlas right now, and we've been through the the ringer, as you can see. Um, but it's always good to have a different server out there and kind of play what you want and be happy. Yeah, it's I don't understand people who are like completely miserable and they still log in. It's like if you're not happy, then why are you just to make everyone else not happy? Um,
Right.
Gawain, what a server. I had not heard of it in quite a time. Oh, different servers. Yo, yeah. I started in beta 2 at Dark Age, so I've played all over the place. I
Yeah.
can't believe it's been 20 years
Yep.
that
Just
I've
over
played.
20 years, and yeah, it's I played Gawain, I played Lamorak, I played Gareth. I played a lot of different ones out there as the progressions came along, and TOA sort of you brought that up earlier. TOA was sort of a bad taste in my mouth because of the grind to it and the openness to it, that's one thing we don't want people to have that bad taste on Eden. The TOA zones are going to be there, encounters are going to be there, but it's going to be worth it. It's not going to be the grind that you would saw, back on live, TOA.
Being a solo stealther, the only thing I liked about TOA was Mez Poison. Um, but bringing that up, I keep doing this, I'm sorry. I was looking at your webpage, the website, and there is one thing that had my attention, and that was the new character builder. This will be the last question. Swear to
Yep.
God. Which is amazing. Um, I was looking through the styles to make sure everything was the way I remember. But there's also a button on there that says send to character or something like that. And then I click on it and it says log into your level, blah, 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 50 in game, and then come back and hit this button. Is that like a respec or is that just something that's in there right now and there's no real key to it?
So because the game's not up, you can't send it to your character.
Right.
Um, but your account's going to be linked to the website and everything. And the thought process behind that is um, you'll be able to go to the character planner and stuff like that, and kind of look through things to where you're not having to do it in game. And if you want to, you can send it to your character, and that'll be a suggested spec for your character.
That's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna let you go now. I'm just checking chat one more time to make sure somebody else didn't ask a question. Doesn't look like it. So, again, thank you for your time. Thanks for reaching out to people in the community to see kind of their thought process and being one that had no problem saying yes that you would come and do this. Um, and if there's anyone on your team who wants, you know, some time to talk about something, we're on Discord. You can send me a message and I can load up a Twitch. I'm always on. If somebody has something exciting to say or just wants to talk, whatever, that's fine. Um, and yeah, we'll set up another one probably closer to release date, if that's okay with you.
Yep, that's fine.
Maybe the day after release when I can get on and play a little bit and have some ideas or words or like I absolutely love it. Don't change a thing. But that will be in less than a month, right? Yeah.
Yep,
Um,
20th. Yeah,
Yeah,
less than a month.
super excited about that. Hopefully we get a good turnout in there. I know beta and alpha isn't always the most played, but I'm sure there's quite a few people who are waiting for this. And hopefully this video enlightens and has answered some questions. And yeah, if I have any other questions, I'll get you on Discord. Otherwise, we will see you Sunday, 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. And if anything comes, when you post this up, and if there are any questions that people ask afterwards or whatever, feel free to shoot them my way or ask them on Sunday. I'll answer whatever you have for me.
right. Yeah, thank you so much. I know you have tons of stuff to do and people to watch over in the game getting, so I 100% um, don't take that for granted, and that is amazing. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I appreciate it, and enjoyed chatting with you, and look forward to chatting with you in the future.
Yes, absolutely.
Have a great one.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. All right, well, he's gone, so it's just back to me talking to myself. Good, good. I think that went pretty cool. Um, if anyone, yeah, like you said, if anyone has any questions or anything else, you can shoot me a message on Discord. I'm under DStab. Um, Pretty easy to find, I think. And yeah, I'm just gonna go back to paying attention to the damn game now. Okay, and I'm actually going to close this out. Bye. Back to the game. I'll turn my mic off for a little. I argue with myself because if I argue with my wife, I never win. If I argue with myself, sometimes I can win. Sometimes. And let's stop the stream. How many people are on? Jesus. I'm gonna be encumbered. You guys keep giving me shit. True. All right. We will see you when you get up. I have to take a break here in a little bit too.